Wait, this is so cute. Our first episode in person. So we're making Shirley Temples because it's our favorite drink.
I've never really made them, to be honest. Let's do some ASMR.
Oh, that was so good.
It's so funny. Wait. Want to pour yours?
I hope they can hear that.
Ooh, that was crisp.
That sounded beautiful. Cheers. Welcome to That's So Us
With Ama
and Lo.
Join us every Friday as we talk about everything and anything.
From pop culture to mental health to life experiences.
Everyone needs a vent session, and we're ready to connect with you on so many levels.
Be ready to laugh and even cry. Grab some tissues and a drink.
And join us as we turn our 3 a.m. calls into this podcast. So, this is our first video podcast.
Yes.
And it will be the first, and then there won't be any for a while.
Yeah, not till probably next year.
Yeah, or we can record one of us in LA together.
Oh, right. So we're gonna be in LA. So if anyone wants to come on the podcast, let us know.
Yeah, hit us up. But we'll just do a regular thing, except we're on video. So if I have a resting bitch face the whole time,
yeah, please ignore it.
Yeah, just ignore it. But we can talk about our highs and our lows.
Yeah, literally being here is my high. We're finally in person. Like, it's so weird being long distance and then seeing each other again, because it actually feels like we haven't even been apart that long.
Yeah, but it was 4 months.
Yeah, so that's my high, and my low is I have to go back home.
Not the big sigh. Okay, my high is the same as yours. It's just weird to have you in my real life, it's you know what I mean?
Your world,
in my
your
day-to-day
city.
world.
Yeah,
and I'm sure whenever I visit Ohio, it's gonna be the same for you.
Yeah,
because it's just weird. Because whenever we see each other, it's always in a different place.
Yeah,
that's
and
not
we both
my house.
have to travel, and now it's just me traveling. So.
Yeah, and she met my dog and my parents. Yeah. My low would probably be you leaving too. Yeah. Because even though we have a trip planned, it's just it's still not the same. Yeah. You know?
Because we don't see each other every day. It's
yeah.
Sad.
Tears.
Tears.
But yeah, that's our highs and our lows.
Okay. I found a question. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
I think the best piece of advice I've been given, but I haven't really followed, to be honest, has been to not care about what people think of you. Because in my head, if I tell you something or I tell my other friends, don't give a shit what other people think of you or say about you, just do your own thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. I can say it to other people and believe it, but when it comes to myself, I'm just harder. I'm self-aware of what people are saying and thinking about me. So that's that.
Yeah, treating yourself like your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Very hard to do.
Yeah.
I would say surround yourself with people who want to succeed as much as you do.
Yeah.
Because then it's just you surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
And yeah. That was from high school, though. I think my high school teacher told me that.
Okay. I mean, I think it's good advice because, I don't know.
If the other person doesn't have any motivation or, goals in life, even if they are very far-fetched and, unrealistic, and they're not working towards them, then it's just, I don't know, difficult to surround yourself with that.
Yeah. I also find for myself it's difficult to surround myself with people who, it's good, it might sound bad, but who get everything handed to them because I just can't relate to it. And then, there's
especially if they're cocky about it.
Yeah. There's one thing when you're self-aware, okay, I get a lot of my stuff handed to me or whatever.
Yeah.
Versus when you get that stuff but you don't you're not self-aware about it. Yeah. Because for me, building my business and my YouTube, my podcast, this podcast, it's all well, obviously you for this one, but most of the time it's just me, myself, and I building my own thing.
Yeah.
So if I don't have people around me that are in that same situation and trying to do the same thing, it's hard to be motivated all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Very true. Song of the week.
I think mine's an old one. I've been listening to Summertime Sadness by Lana Del Rey so much right now. So it's a vibe.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok the other day, where she was just like meeting people randomly at a thrift store. And like,
yes, I saw
imagine
that.
just running into her. Like, she like.
I mean, she goes to Earth Cafe.
Know celebrities are normal people. Don't get me wrong, but it's just she just looks like such a normal human.
Yeah,
I don't know.
She goes to like
so
places that we go
me,
to,
like,
which is like weird.
Yeah. But my song of the week is probably one that we literally have been listening to, and it's been popping up on our TikToks.
Yeah.
It's What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish.
Yeah. That sounds sad as shit.
So sad.
But it's also so good, so.
But that kind of brings us into
the episode.
Yeah, the episode.
So I initially found a TikTok from Pretty Basic with like Alicia Marie and Remy, and they were talking about growing up and like the struggles with growing up, like in different like ways, like with like seeing like your family get older, and also like you dealing with growing up and like being an adult and stuff. And I thought it could be cool. And then when we saw the movie, it kind of, the Barbie movie. Yeah, the Barbie movie. It kind of spoke on those topics too. I think it would be cool to talk about it.
Yeah, a little bit. That was such a good movie, though.
It was.
Because if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Spoilers, kind of. But the way that the actors are acting is as if they're being played by kids. Like actual Barbies. Like children are playing with the Barbies. So the dialogue is like very like childish. Like sometimes. And then sometimes it's very deep.
Yeah.
But there are parts where it's like, oh, it hits so hard. Especially like growing up in general. It's like, you want, like, you were playing with Barbies and baby dolls and all, like, little kid stuff. And then there came a time where it's just like, you stop doing all that.
Yeah, and I was seeing so many people post TikToks where they're like, you put your toys away for the last time and you didn't know it was going to be the last time. I was like, that's so dramatic, but so true at the same time.
Like, I honestly can't even remember
the last
that moment. Of,
Me
like,
either.
I remember there was one moment, though, where I was playing with my sister, my oldest sister. And, like, she kind of, like, outgrew playing with, like, baby dolls. But we were, like, playing, and she just, like, stopped playing and left.
Oh, my God.
And that was the last time. I do remember that.
Is that Ashley?
Yeah, it was Ashley.
Okay, I know she listens to this, so hello.
Hi, Ashley. I love you. But that was a really sad moment because...
Yeah.
You just stopped playing.
See, I can't really I can't really relate in that aspect because my brother and I, we didn't play with the same toys. So it would mostly be me. And like I told you, like me with Barbies wasn't like little doll. I would rip their heads off. Like I was that kid.
She had the weird Barbies.
Yeah, like I don't even know why I did this, but I would just like rip their heads off and like, but I would put it back on after at the end. But it was just like fun to me to do that. But yeah, I don't like remember the last time I ever like I stopped playing with any of my like toys in general.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a signifier of like outgrowing things, but I never looked at it that way. And I didn't realize like so many things in my life. I just stopped one day and didn't really realize that was going to be like the actual last time.
Like even going outside and like playing on a playground.
Oh my God, yeah, like, I don't know the last time I did that.
I don't either. It's so sad.
Like I kind of want to just go on the playground right now.
I know.
And swing on a swing.
I love the swings.
Oh my God, me too. It's so fun. Have you ever tried to like
flip around?
Yeah.
I have, but
I never got it. But
yeah, me
either. I tried once. It didn't work out.
Well, I wanted to, but I think I was too scared to do it.
Oh,
so
okay.
I never did.
Yeah, but okay, so for you, I'm going to use 25 as like an age stamp because I feel like that was crucial for me. But like when you were younger, like growing up, when you like that, I feel like that number is such like a big number when we're younger.
Yeah.
What did you think your life would be like at like that age? Even though you're like 2 years away from it, but
honestly, I don't even know.
You don't?
We've talked about this before though, because it's like for me, it was really hard to see a future for myself, and not even like sometimes in like a dark way, but like not even in a dark way. It's just like I just couldn't see like where my life was going because my whole life, what I wanted to do, which we still like we're talking about this earlier, but was be a mom. And they said something like that in the movie, which kind of made me cry actually, because they were like, I cried a lot in the movie.
Yeah.
They were like, if all you want to do is be a mom, like that's okay. Because I feel like growing up, you were kind of told to like follow this certain path, but I don't even know where I was going with that.
But I think like there's also the flip side where like where my thoughts come in, where it's like I feel like people always think like because you're a woman, like you have to be a mom and you have to have babies, and like I don't like. I'm not saying I'm never gonna have a kid because I might, but it's also not something that was like ever a top priority on my list. And like if I didn't have a kid, like I wouldn't be sad. But I know like maybe for you, if you didn't, like that would make you sad.
Yeah.
But not for me. So I think like people like both ends are fine, and it has to be like I think both ends. People always have something to say about it. Or like if someone's only goal to be a mom is to be a mom, like who cares? But then it's like if people don't want to be a mom, they're like, oh, like you should like you whatever. Right. Like
it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. So growing up, like I had struggled with that a lot because like even when I was like 12, 13, I always say I'm not gonna be a mom. Like I'm not having kids.
Yeah.
Or if I have a kid, it's gonna be adopted, whatever. And like now I've changed a bit because I was like if I have one kid, like I'll have one kid, but it's also not like a pressing thing that like I want, like I need to do to like fulfill my life. But yeah, growing up, people would always be like, oh, like your like mine's gonna change, like you're gonna want to be a mom so badly soon. And I was just like, no, that's not gonna happen. And it's still like, even though like I'm like more open to like having kids, it's still never shifted to like I need to like have them. Yeah.
That makes sense. No, for me, it's always been like that's what I want to do. And so yeah, that was like, but like you're obviously gonna have kids in the future like when you're older, so it was just hard for me to like see any other future
without them,
without kids, but also like even with kids because it was so far in the future. So I was like, so I don't like no.
See, I think it was the opposite. I had so many things that I wanted to do, and then when they weren't happening, I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, what am I doing wrong? Things like that. Because, like, when I was younger, I was like, I'm going to open a record label. And I obviously didn't do that because I didn't realize at the time how hard it was. Then I was like, I'm going to be an actress. I didn't do that. And still, like, to this day, like, yeah, I do my own business and stuff. But, like, I actually, like, when I'm 50, I don't know if I'm still going to want to be doing this. Like, I think, like, I don't know, we get, like, too much pressure on ourselves at such a young age to, like, know what we want to do.
Yeah, especially like when you're in college and you have to figure out what you want to like major in. It's like I'm 18. I don't know.
Like, see, here we're
so
17,
hard.
Which like is only a year difference. But like, I don't know. Like at that age, like I was going
through. What 17-year-old knows what they want to do?
No, like I remember I went to my guidance counselor because she was doing like talks with people that were like applying to college and stuff. And she's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I kind of want to do like something in like the arts and stuff. And then she told me to apply to psychology. Which didn't really correlate, but she was like, from what I see, like your interests and like your grades and everything, like you should apply to psychology. So me being 17 and vulnerable and not really knowing, I was like, okay, so I applied to psychology and I did a year and I hated it. Not because it wasn't interesting, but it just like wasn't for me. And then I switched to cinema. Then when I went to university, I started in women's studies because I also like I was just so like confused as to what I wanted to do, and like in my head I was like I have to go to university because that's the next step, and then I hated that, so then I switched again and then I graduated, whatever. And I feel like I don't know, it's so hard to know what you want to do for the rest of your life.
I mean I switched like 3 times I think because I was originally going in undecided, then I went business, then I went fashion, then I went like child stuff, family science. So it was just like you really don't know. And then I didn't even end up finishing and I'm doing something different, so it's like completely
and I think unknown. Also when we were younger people would be like you have to have like one thing and like that's it, but nowadays people have so many different things like for yourself, like if you want to open your own daycare like we spoke about on the last episode, but like you can also do creative things on the side too, and like that's okay. But I feel like people like they were always like you can have to do one thing and stick to that when like I just don't think that's realistic, especially with our generation. I feel like people are always like doing multiple things at once. Yeah, the one thing, and also it has to be like a corporate job. Oh my god,
and it's like it's so annoying.
Yeah, because I remember when I was leaving university, people were like, "Oh, like did you apply to jobs?" And I was like, "No." Like whatever, and they were like, "Oh, like what are you gonna do?" And I was like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna like start my own business full time and see where that goes." And they're like, oh, like, no, like, you should take, like, a corporate job and, like, experience the corporate life. But I was like, if that's what someone else wants to do, like that's what someone else wants to do. But like I just knew that I didn't want to do that. And in the end, if like I have to go do that, then I have to go do that.
Yeah.
But like I knew I didn't want to. So like why would I? Obviously, there's like a privilege that comes with being able to start your own business, and I can acknowledge that I didn't have to go into corporate life. But I don't know. I'm just kind of happy I knew I didn't want to, and I didn't listen to other people and go into it because I know for a fact that I probably wouldn't have been happy.
Yeah. 100%. It's just hard, like, figuring everything out and then seeing everything, like, change.
Yeah.
Like, as you grow up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everything changes when you grow up. It's like your viewpoints, your opinions, your perspectives on different things, your attitude towards life, your personality sometimes, your relationships. You just change, like, so much changes. Yeah, I feel like when people say change, it's like sometimes like a negative connotation, but it's like I like now thinking about how I am now, I am grateful that I changed because I did not want to be like the person that I was in high school or in college or even like a year from now,
like personality wise or
just everything wise. Okay. So it's like that change is good, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, people can change for, like, the worst.
Yeah.
But you need change in your life, I think, to push you out of your comfort zone so then you can, like, grow as a person.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. I don't know. And even, like I think it was on Pretty Basic where they were talking about, like, watching your family get older and stuff, too, is, like, sad.
It's so sad.
Because, like, I don't know. When I was younger, I always thought my parents were old. Just because, like, when you're 5, like, I just think my parents are old. But in reality, they were, like, 30. Yeah. So I don't know. Just seeing them older and, like, doesn't, like, I don't know. I don't know how to say it. And I don't want to sound morbid. But, like, you just never know what can happen. Even, like, with, like, even when you're younger, like, whatever. You can die at any age of your life. Yeah, but it's just, like, seeing them get older and, like, then they have more difficulties with certain things. And then seeing your grandparents get older. Dude, and then that's so having sad. Difficulties with that. And then also myself, like, when I turned 25 this year, I had, like, a crisis. And I know 25 is young, like, relatively young. Like, I know that. But in my head, I was like, oh, my God, like, I'm 25. Like, I'm so old. Like, all these things. And then, like, there's the, like, factor where people are like, you're 25. Like, you should be moved out by now. And, like, even though that's in the works, it's, like, I hate that there's, like, such, like, a negative connotation to people who are done school that still live at home, because even like right now you still live at home and you're 23, but I feel like people like would still say the same thing, like, oh, like, why didn't you move out by now? And I don't know, I think there's like a whole thing with that too, and just like then like the whole career thing, like figuring out your life, what you want to do and make money, and then like having to set your priorities straight, because so many people tell me, they're like, oh, like, you're always traveling, going to shows, like, where are your priorities? When, like, people don't know me, so they don't know, like, if I'm saving on the side for other things, like, you know?
Yeah, but it's also, like, take this time in your life, like, because there is so much change, like, take this time in, like, your 20s to, like, actually explore everything that you want to do, because then when your life changes and you, well, in my case, like, have kids, like, I can't just drop everything and like travel. You know what I mean?
And even like now, like when you think of it, like if you move out in like a few months, like your life will change in that aspect kind of too, because then you won't be able to just pick up and travel as often as you do now, because like you're gonna have like rent and like other things. But like that's why I'm like, if I did that at 18, half of the stuff I've done from 18 to now, like I wouldn't have been able to do because I would have had so many other things to do. You know?
I like learned a lot about myself through all of those experiences that I've had. And I've met so many people, like we've met through it. So it's like, I'm grateful that I had that time. Yeah. But I feel like I have traveled a lot. And I don't want to say I'm ready to like settle down. I'm not. But like, I think like moving out and like kind of starting my own thing. Yeah. I'm ready to do that. So, which is another change, and I'm embracing it, and it's going to be great and fun and whatever. It's going to be hard, obviously, but like I said, you need change to grow. So, but going back to what you said about like watching your family like get older, the other day my sister sent a Snapchat of my grandma, like a video of my grandma 5 years ago, and she looked like so much younger, and it made me so sad because now it's like you can see
like how old are your grandparents? Because I feel like everyone's very different.
My grandpa's 92.
Okay.
Or 98.
92 or 98? That's such a drastic.
I know it is drastic. 90 something. 90. We'll say 94 because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
My grandma, they're actually like a lot of years apart. I think she's 70 something.
Okay.
But regardless, you can just see like how much life has like affected her, like physically.
Yeah.
But it's just so sad to see the change.
Yeah, I know.
And that's with like anybody. Like, it's really sad and scary.
Yeah.
But also, it's like seeing, like growing up, I feel like you didn't really understand like where your parents came from with a lot of things, and then like as you grow up and learn more things about yourself, then you realize like your parents only did like certain things for your benefit. Then you see like their perspective on things, and I think that that's like really important. Yeah, I think the movie touched on that too.
Yeah, like a mother's point of view.
Yeah,
type of thing. It wasn't really about dads in that aspect, but yeah, like mothers a lot. And it made me like think about certain things too. Mm-hmm. Because like when we're growing up, like we're just like annoyed by everything our parents do half the time, or when they tell us something, like it's like they're never right.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're right all the time still. But there's like things you can like It's
also because it's their first time living too. And that's gonna make me cry. But it's like your mom was once a little girl and she I don't know. I might cry.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like, yeah. But the thing is, like, I've never tried to think of my mom or my grandmother, like, as a child or, like, in their 20s either. Because, like, to me, it's, like, they're my mom and, like, that they're older than me and, like, that's it. Like, they never had, like, they never went through anything like I did, blah, blah, blah. When you think about it, like, it might not be the same things that they went through, but there were, like, obviously similar things that they probably learned and they're trying to teach you, but you don't want to listen.
And it may be worse things too. Like they were probably going through a lot worse. Like, so I don't know. It's just really like, as you grow up, it like opens your eyes.
Yeah.
But it's sad.
No, it is. It is. And sometimes I feel bad, but like also I'm not like an affectionate person, so I won't go say anything. Mm-hmm. But I feel like you're different.
I'm only different with my mom. I love my mom. I like give her hugs, and I've always given her hugs. But with my siblings, for example, I don't like hugging my siblings. I don't know.
Do they try and hug you? Do they like that?
My brother will give me like a side hug. We'll like, not really.
I don't like
the only really one is like my brother.
Okay.
But like if they're sad and like really sad, and I'll be like, I'll give you a hug, which is weird because I love like physical touch. So I'm like, I'll hug a stranger. But with my siblings, it's so different. Weird. I know.
I feel like for me, it's like mostly everyone that I'm just like,
yeah.
I don't know. I have to be in like the mood, or like, I don't know.
Well, I did want to read something that I found on TikTok. I don't know. Okay, this is not from TikTok, and I don't know who wrote it, but it's called "Everyone Is Home." But I might cry. I'm gonna try not to. Okay, you're 10 years old and everyone is home. Mom is cooking, dad is watching TV, and your siblings are doing their own thing, but everyone is home. You're laying in your childhood bedroom, dreaming of the day where you get to grow up and be on your own. You want it to be older so badly that you forget to take in the comfort of everyone being home. Now you're in your 20s and you wish you could go back. You and your siblings have all moved out, your parents have aged, and you're trying to get used to the term empty nesters. You start to notice their gray hair and wonder where all the time has gone. You realize that there will never be another day where you all live together again. Your siblings aren't just in the other room, they are somewhere else. Every now and then you will visit, but you will not stay. You will never play. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. You will never play together again. You will not wake up and eat breakfast together every morning. And there will be no more family movie nights. You won't even see each other every day. I am longing for the feeling of home, but I can't go back. My childhood home has been ripped down and pieces of it are scattered in all different places.
It's so sad.
It's very sad.
But it's so true. Like even now that like right now, like my brother still lives at home. I still live at home. My parents are still there, and it's only us four. It's only ever been us four. there's still like, without anyone moving out, there's still like those changes. Like, like for example, we're talking about like family dinners and stuff. Like, either I'm not there, my brother's not there, or like, I don't think we've ever eaten breakfast all together, to be honest. But like that doesn't happen. And then like at night, like usually it's like me and my mom. My brother's not there.
Yeah.
And then my dad's like doing something else. And like it's so true because when I was younger, even though like we still all live at home at the moment, there's still like all those changes that happened and like inevitably like even like talking about like my trip to Europe, like it's gonna be our like I know it's gonna be like our last like family trip all together. Yeah. And like I don't know, it's like a weird
everyone
feeling.
has their own lives now.
Yeah,
because they're like growing up. Like,
yeah,
and that's what's like scary about it.
I travel with like my friends more, or like my boyfriend more than my family.
Yeah,
which like isn't for any reason, but that's just like how it goes. I feel, and I think that's fine. It's just different and like adjusting to that.
Like for me, for example, I feel like everything really changed like once my parents like got divorced, which was like 3 years ago, I think. But now I still live with my dad, and my sister Shannon's in college. My youngest sister Isabella is about to go to college, and they're going to the same college. So it's like, and my brother's moved out. So I'm going to be the only one home with my dad, and my grandparents live with us at the moment. So it's just going to be us, but it's like, I'm so close with my sisters. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to miss them so much. Like, it's crazy because we always like clown with each other, and we'll like go into each other's rooms like randomly and like just sit and talk and whatever. So it's like, it's not going to happen anymore. And it's like so sad. But literally everyone's life is like just progressing, and they're changing as people. And sometimes people also change where it's like you don't see eye to eye with everything, and so maybe like you keep your distance with certain people, and like that's okay too. But like you just have to know that that can also happen, even if it is like in the family or like with relatives or whatever. Like you may not see eye to eye with certain people, but it's like everyone's gonna change.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel that with certain people in my life. Like people that I used to be like in my family that I used to be so close with, and now it's like so different. Like we just don't see the same. Yeah. Which is like fine to an extent, but we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, but I think like no. I don't even think they listen to this, but I think also like in your case, like at least like 95% of your siblings, they all live in Ohio still. Yeah. So that's nice. But like, do you think there's gonna be a time where like that won't like be the case?
I think so. I don't know. Well, my the second oldest lives in Florida, so it's like
that's already one. Like
yeah, that's already one. The oldest is a nurse, and she travels, so it's like she can go wherever. Mm-hmm. So who knows? Right now she's still in Ohio, but I don't know where everyone else kind of wants to like settle down. Mm-hmm. But like, it's sad to me thinking about it because
everyone could be so spread out at one point, and like you just don't know.
And then we're gonna have our own families and kids and whatever, and I'm not gonna be like I don't see my nephew every day because he lives in Florida, so it's like that's gonna be with all of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if they don't stay, because even my brother, like he's in acting and stuff, and like he probably won't stay here, so like he'll probably move. I don't know where I'm gonna be, honestly. Yeah. And then like I feel bad for my parents, like we both leave, because then it's a whole other thing. And I know I shouldn't feel bad, but like I do. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just
sometimes though that like holds me back from like a lot, because I know that like I'm gonna be the only one with my dad, and it's like I feel bad for my dad.
But I like he knows you can't stay there forever.
Yeah, I know he wants me to.
But it's like also like where you plan on going. Like you can. It's not like you're gonna be like a whole plane ride away.
No,
like if he wants to see you, he can come see you. And like you know what I mean?
Exactly. But I think it's just gonna be sad and an adjustment for like the first.
Well, my mom already told me she's like, whenever you went out, I'm gonna cry. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Like I can't tell you. It was
so sad when my mom, well, both my parents did, but when they dropped me off to college and they had to leave, and I had to go like down to like a meeting. And so I didn't want to get emotional and cry. Mm-hmm. But bro, my mom cried so hard. Because I feel like growing up, I was kind of her like helper with everything. I think that we have a really like close relationship. So it was just so hard. But oh my god, like I can still see her like walking away.
See, I think that's
so
different for me
like,
because
so
like, that reminds me of a movie because I didn't experience that because I went like I commuted to college. So that's why like for my mom, the first time that's gonna happen is when I actually move out.
Yeah.
And then I'm taking the dog too, so she's gonna have a double like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
I feel like at the end of the day, to like wrap this up or end this, is that one day we're gonna be 50 and one day we're gonna be 80, and like you can't control that and you can't stop that. So like you're always gonna grow up, and like my next milestone's gonna be 30.
Yeah.
Which is insane to me, and I'm sure my life is gonna like if we still have this podcast when I'm 30.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure wherever we're sitting down, like both our lives are gonna be so like different.
So completely different. It's gonna be cool though looking back.
Even like a year from now.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll still have this podcast in a year. Hopefully that would be very sad if we didn't. But like even a year from now, like I feel like everyone's life's gonna be just different.
Yeah, very different. But it's gonna be cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited.
Same.
But it's sad. Do you know what's really sad though? The part of the song in Billy's song. Hold on. Actually, at the beginning, I used to know, but I'm not sure. But I'm not sure now what I was made for. What was I made for? That's so sad.
I know, because even to this day, like if like I feel like so many people. I think you were talking about this with your sisters, maybe how like, or your friends. I don't remember how like they knew what they wanted to do when they were younger. Yeah. And I feel like I'm still in like a place where like I actually don't know like. I feel like everyone has like a reason to be on Earth and to like be here, and I still don't know what mine is, and I feel like a lot of people know what theirs are, or like think they know what theirs are, and I just don't. Like I just think I'm here, and like for no reason, maybe I don't know, but
I don't either. That's why that line really resonates with me because it's like growing up, you kind of have this idea of like what you want to do, and even if it's really unrealistic, like being in a movie or being like a model or being whatever, like I don't know, it's so sad because now it's like you don't know and you're not doing any of those things, at least like for me, and like it's like hard to know what your purpose is. When growing up I didn't even know what I wanted to do, like
so, like I like had ideas, but like I feel like there was some people I went to school with that were like I want to be a lawyer, and then they became a lawyer,
exactly,
or like I want to be a teacher and they became a teacher. And I feel like my like from when I was like really young to like now has changed and keeps changing, and I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, but it's like it's hard to like just feel fulfilled in every aspect if you don't know what you need to do to be fulfilled. If that makes sense.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
But maybe we were made to be podcasters.
Maybe.
Like the podcasters that go on the tours and stuff. That'd be so funny.
That would
one
be
day.
really
that's like
fun.
I think that's like a 5-year goal. Like we have to go on a tour within 5 years.
Yeah.
And maybe like podcasting will be a whole No, we will. I don't even care if we have 30 listeners. I think.
Shout out to those 30 listeners.
Yeah. I think what would be fun if we still do like a 1-year kind of trip or whatever to like have merch that goes with that for our 30 listeners, and if one person buys it, one person buys it. If it's just me buying it, it's just me. But I think that would be like a fun little like
that's cute
thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, guys, I didn't cry.
Yeah, you almost did.
I know. I thought I was gonna cry because this is just very like hard topic to talk about in general because it's like a sad thing growing up, but everyone grows up. Yeah, it's gonna happen, and
I did my crying last night.
She did.
Yeah.
I felt so bad.
Oh, but it was so fun. Like, I was crying, but I was laughing at myself crying.
No, it was both. Because I would send you funny things, so you could start laughing instead of crying, and then you kept crying because you were saying the sad thing.
I know.
But
anyways.
But now we're going to watch The Hunger Games and have a little movie night with pizza.
Yes, so thank you for listening and watching. I literally realized half the time I was looking on the floor because you were moving your phone.
Oh, I was playing.
Yeah. I heard that. I was looking at you move your phone half the time, and then I was looking at the microphone, and then I would be like, oh shit, the camera's there. So I don't even know where I was looking half this time, but I think it'll be interesting to have video content. Yeah. I think it'll be like cool when there's a third guest too.
I think it'll be really cool, and we're like planning.
Yeah, so let us know if you're in LA.
Yeah.
And you want to come on the podcast.
Specifically in October, end of October.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. You should follow or subscribe to this podcast. Yes. Review it. Follow us on Instagram, on TikTok. And yeah.
Bye.
Bye.